Prologue, Blackout. A fast heartbeat morphs into a loud gunshot. Spotlight on Ermal, center stage. He's running, he's struggling, he's just shot and injured, and he's perturbed, and the world is spinning at a very fast pace. Arjola takes the cup and then comes back with a blanket.
It's all going to be all right, brother.
She hugs him. He hugs her back.
You're just saying that to make me feel better.
Are you afraid?
No,
You're lying.
I'm lying.
You did what you were supposed to today.
I missed. I can't do this. I don't know how to do this. My hands are shaking.
My name is Indrit Kasapi. I'm the writer and choreographer of TOKA, as well as I'm the artistic producer at lemonTree Creations.
You should get some rest. Oh.
You should get some rest.
TOKA is a brand new play that features contemporary dance in it and tells the story of three siblings who are trying to escape a 27-year-old blood feud. It's based on the Albanian custom of blood taking, but it is told within the context of what it means to live on this land in Canada today.
My name is Cole Alvis. I'm a Machif artist here in Degarundo and am one of the artistic producers of lemonTree Creations.
I'm Arlen Aguayo Stewart, and in this phase of the workshop, I have been playing Arjola in English.
Hi, I'm Tringa Rexhepi, and I'm playing the Albanian version of Arjola.
My name's Christopher Manousos, and for this phase of the workshop, I've been playing Ermal.
Hi, I'm Xhemi, and I'm playing the Albanian version of the role of Ermal.
It was brought to us as an opportunity to make the show or the production more accessible to the Albanian community, especially the members of the Albanian community who might have a hard time hearing English on stage. And so it was an opportunity, A, to translate the play to Albanian, which was exciting because I'm writing the play completely in English. And B, to engage Albanian-speaking performers in the city and engage community members to find a way to live dub the show in Albanian. And so there's going to be an opportunity for members of the Albanian community to have an earpiece during the show, and they can see the show live as it's happening in front of them, but have a translation in Albanian in their ear, and hopefully that'll help make it more accessible to them.
Në qoftë se të kam ofenduar nga kalimi im, të kërkoj ndjesë dhe të jap këtë si dhuratë.
We've been working with Indrit Kasapi to help him adapt his English script into an Albanian script, which has been interesting for us because he'd only had a couple pages of it. And so, yeah, we've been working on that and trying to make an accessible option so if Albanian audience members come to see the show, they can hear the play spoken in their language and figuring out what that looks like.
Yeah, there's something to be said about stories being told and the languages that they get told in. And especially because of your dialect, it just centers it exactly where it should be, you know?
Yeah.
And that's something that we won't hear in English, ever. That's something that's always going to live in the Albanian language.
I think what's exciting about this exploration is, for instance, yesterday on our first day, Indrit heard his play for the first time in his first language. And this is something that hasn't occurred in the many years that we've been developing this piece, that he's been developing this piece specifically. And so there's a real opportunity to be communicating and exploring the story for Indrit specifically, but for all of the artists on the team. The actors, the English-speaking actors, were hearing the Albanian actors and perhaps not understanding word for word what they were saying, but intention and cadence and culture is possible and is being transmitted in this process.
Hearing you two in that, I got a deeper sense of like where the whole thing is. The setting and the atmosphere and the overall vibe was way clearer. Just hearing the way you went through the text and spoke with one another.
Yeah. I was just really curious to hear the cadence of how things are spoken, and I wonder if that could be integrated with whoever you're working with in the production to hear the Albanian.
Right.
And And again, I also crave more Albanian in English script.
She's giving you a gift that you can't accept, even though you would like to.
Moj e bukura more. Moj e bukura more. Kancha. Kancha. Kancha.
Grandfather drank his morning coffee and father worked the chestnut orchard by the hill, and you be playing close to him.
So this would be your feed from the stage, so you can hear what's happening. We do it in headphones so that it doesn't get feedback with the microphone.
Correct.
Okay.
Can you hear?
What is this?
A little louder.
Do vjedon me ty.
Jo, ti nuk bën me ardh, nuk lejohet. Vetëm mund lejohet shkoj në kull. Ti të vazhdosh pazar që të shitesh gështajat.
You know, for me, I'm not a translator, and I think Xhemi and I come from an acting background, so that's what we're here to sort of help Indrit with, which I think is interesting for him because I think we're trying to bring these characters to life, even though it's through a headpiece or through an earpiece, and yet give a really concise and clear translation that lines up with what's happening on stage in English. So it's an interesting challenge for sure.
We moved the two of you up there, and
So they get to listen in English now.
Yes,
so exactly. So they get to hear it in English.
You did what you were supposed to today.
I missed. I can't do this. I don't know how to do this. My hands were shaking. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't focus.
You aimed for the heart, didn't you?
Yes.
Then it's not your fault. Maybe the winds decided to change the trajectory of the bullet.
Technology's incorporation into performance is definitely something that I didn't consider before. So I think the work and the energy that needs to be put around that to still keep the art at the forefront is something that I wouldn't have thought of right off the cuff, but I think that's pretty obvious.
And I would say getting the opportunity as the performers on stage to go into the booth and have the experience of what the translators are going through definitely opened up my mind to the more overarching machine that is part of making this translation, live translation possible.
Ancient custom and no one follows it anymore. No one except for our family and the Noka clan.
What?
He said that when grandfather went to the tower in 1989, the elders told him that according to the new law, his killing was not a blood feud anymore.
Mountains, you most beautiful and ever powerful creature, I bow to you. Why do you appear to me? If I have offended you by my passing, I shall make amends with an offering.
I would take one off at a certain time, but I would have a hard time focusing on both voices.
Got it.
So I think for me, I would prefer, because I speak both languages, I would if I watched the whole play, I personally would take breaks from both ears or no ears, but I couldn't do just one ear.
Right.
It's too hard to keep track.
Right.
But I really enjoyed you guys talking in English about all these things that I would normally expect to hear in Albanian.
Mm-hmm.
So I would want to experience both, but I couldn't do both at the same time. It was too much.
Too much. Yeah. Do you have the same yet?
That sounds better in Albania or in English?
I think they're just different. So I think for me, it's more authentic in Albanian, so I understand it more.
Totally.
But I really enjoyed you guys talking about these stories in English. It's very different. The tone is very different.
Yeah.
The whole experience is very different, but I like hearing it in that different way.
Like, I know it's the same story, but it just sounds like, to me, it sounded very different from what was coming in and what was happening on stage. So if I wanted to focus on the Albanian one, I found myself that I would look away from what is happening on stage.
What I would love and to sort of adapt it more to a theater is I think it would be a really interesting collaboration to see if the pairs, let's say, really matched in tone. So it's the way you're even if the words don't match up, obviously, like your energy, if like you guys like collaborated in creating sort of one character through both of you, and same with you two, I feel like that could be really powerful.
Word he chosen, they say is stronger, like a word, but the feeling, the voice, let's say,
the performance.
The performance, you know.
What did you prefer more? Did you prefer to hear it in English or did you prefer to hear it in Albanian?
I have to try it. I don't know.
We were talking about this a lot, that like ideally in a perfect world, you know, as actors, you're trying to tell a similar story through a similar lens. And I totally agree, because when you're up there, when Xhemi and I are up there, we're hearing English, we're trying to act right away, and then there's the sounds of the theater, so there's so much going on. But I think to spend time to bring the same performance, I mean, we're different people, so it's never going to be the same performance, but to bring the same spirit of the performance, I think is what I'm hearing is very important.
I feel like having
all of those,
us all together on stage and living it on stage would connect us to a level so that when they are distant from us, we
like
already
doing
lived
all
it.
together
Yeah.
the play, like two different
Yeah.
persons, one character.
Yeah.
I honestly salute the open-mindedness of not just Indrit, but the whole team that taking this experiment, and as we go, they are very open to our ideas, whatever we suggest something, which I love to work with people like that, you know, they want to make the project better. I guess that's, it proves to me that all this workshop is for that, to make the project better, to go to a different phase. So eventually when the time comes, it's to make it into premiere, so everything will be done properly. And it's just that the way they are so open-minded and they insist so we can speak and we can like speak our minds and give ideas. To me, it's inspiring on its own. So I really like that.
Have to be ready for him. And so it goes, brother. Just like it did.